Okay, so we are going to react to the Jake Paul and Ben Askren press conference. The GOAT Ben Askren and this YouTube dork Jake Paul that is dressed like a cowboy, a pink cowboy. Yeah. What a fucking nerd.
Well, you guys have set the table for this pretty well.
Why do wealthy people dress like this? I don't understand. I don't understand this.
You've kind of indicated that at the end of the day, your boxing skills you feel are better.
Okay, guys. Is it just me, or does he have the most punchable face on God's green earth? I don't know about you guys, but he has a 12 out of 10 punchable face. Anyways, get back to the program.
And that ultimately, that's the difference.
No, 100%. I mean, this guy's striking is that of a grandma. Quite literally.
Argument could be made for that, 100%. But then again, Jake Paul, he's fought an overweight YouTuber and then a 40-year-old 5'5" basketball player, a retired basketball player. We'll continue.
If I put a grandma in against Jorge Masvidal, she would have lasted longer than this guy. He's a good athlete, they say, but
he's an Olympian. The argument stops there.
April 17th, he's going to get exposed. We saw Steve Cunningham earlier going up against Frank Mir. And it's a boxer versus an MMA guy. I love Frank Mir, but at the end of the day, Steve's gonna take care of business. And then later on in the night, same thing's gonna happen. This is boxing versus MMA, and you're gonna see the difference. You're gonna see the difference of a wannabe fighter, a guy who choked in the Olympics, a guy who choked in the UFC,
a guy who's fought in the UFC, a guy who's won championship titles in Bellator, championship titles and won championship. Wannabe fighter. That makes a lot of sense, 100%, compared to a guy who has fought these nobodies who have never gotten punched in the fucking mouth before, but Ben Askren is a wannabe fighter. Okay, interesting. Let's get it. Let's get back into it.
Now a guy who's going to choke against Jake Paul.
He's going to get that bag anyways, even if he does. Ben's taking the dub regardless.
I heard of Jake Paul prior to accepting this fight. I couldn't have told you a lot about him or his brother. I knew, he kind of came up in his brother's shadow. He was trying to follow his brother's footsteps. His brother's a lot more talented and a larger following. Those
you literally went on your Instagram and asked people for roast. You asked people for roast on your Instagram, and that was the top comment was say that his brother's better than him.
Is he?
That's like calling Kylie Jenner Kendall Jenner. Like,
ooh, burn.
Doesn't matter, still a compliment. I would love to be Logan. Logan's a great kid. Both stars, both taking over the world at a young age.
Okay, so when Logan's little brother called me out, I thought about it.
You actually called me out. Let's get the facts straight. You called me out the week of the name.
I think that's actually true. I think Ben actually admitted that on Food Truck Diaries.
As a chore, more than happy to, right? I like to fight. I've been fighting for a long time. Never boxing, but I've done wrestling, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu. And, I thought, well, from his angle, what's he doing? And, I asked some of my kids in my academy, what's this guy all about? And they said he's a bully, he's a dick. And so
true for both.
He's thinking, who's the easiest guy that I can pick that'll give some validity to my name? It's like, I'm going to pick the guy who just had a surgery, who's a
If I wanted to pick the easiest guy, I would have picked Dylan Dennis.
Well,
Dylan Dennis here signed a contract.
I love the guy who's next to the guy filming is laughing.
Jake, you did pick Dylan. We know that. I've already went over that. You picked Dylan. I know he wouldn't do it.
You just said I picked you.
Because Dylan wants to say yes, dumb.
Okay, guys. First of all, comment who you think is going to win this fight. I would love to hear it from you guys. Second of all, who do you think is an easier fight for Jake Paul? Ben Askren or Dylan Dennis? That's an interesting one. This guy's dying behind the camera.
Dylan wants on the contract. Therefore, you can't fight Dylan, so you get to pick the next person. Okay?
But you said I picked you first. You said if I wanted the easiest person it would have been Dylan. But you're saying I picked you as
Because
the person.
Dylan wants to I'm trying to stop talking.
Okay, so that's those stupid noises that he's making. It looks like just pure desperation to look cool in front of like the people that are watching online, and it just does not look good. He might think he sounds cool making those stupid noises. It reminds me of the Chad Mendez doing those stupid noises when McGregor was talking shit about him at the Go Big press conference. Anyways.
So anyways,
What a fucking loser that kid is.
Behavior, but obviously sometimes
This is the fucking fight game. This is the fucking fight game. You pussy ass bitch. This is the fucking
Oh,
fight
burn!
game. Yeah, I'll bully you around just like I'm gonna bully you in the ring. Shut the fuck up. You sound like a middle schooler. Oh, he's bullying me. Shut the fuck up.
I was talking to your mentality. You're not gonna bully me. That's not gonna happen. And you know, like Jacob, you and I
Facts.
ran into each other in the back alley in Las Vegas, and I wanted to
Do it right now. Do it right now.
Look.
Do each other right now.
Look, he's getting up.
Like 27 people.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Okay.
What actually happened is actually after my
He wants to be tough so badly without fighting actual guys
and there was probably
that can
6
strike.
people that made sense to fight. Bisping, McGregor, Diaz.
Bisbing, also retired, also has had 2 knee replacement surgeries, amongst other surgeries I'm sure of. Also, and if you don't know, he has one fucking eye. Even though he won a UFC title with one eye, he has one eye. So, anyways.
Dennis, Askren.
Nate Diaz would murder this kid.
Who were popular. But I wanted to fight a real MMA fighter. When it came to signing the contract, a lot of them didn't want to do it. And by the way, this is me coming to them with the biggest payday of their lives. This is
That is factual. Ben Askren actually said this is going to be the biggest payday of his career.
When it came down to signing the contract, he was actually down. So that's how it happened. And this fight makes sense. And you will embarrass the sport of MMA. You are representing the UFC. This is personal. You know, the whole MMA community.
You're trying to make me represent the sport of.
No, you are representing the sport. Dana White is betting money on you. He's trying to get trainers to actually help you train. So
He got Freddie Roach, who's famously trained multiple world champions. I think one of the most popular is actually Manny Pacquiao. Fun fact. Dana White actually got Freddie Roach, who also coached GSP, to coach Ben Askren, which is pretty fucking cool. That's how much Dana White wants this kid to basically get hit by a bus.
that you can beat. So you are representing the sport of MMA. You are an MMA fighter. Just like I'm representing the sport of boxing because I'm a boxer. Just like I'm representing celebrities and YouTubers because I'm a celebrity and a YouTuber. So I'm representing all of those things. So you are representing them, and you will see boxing conquer.
Okay. So, somewhat representing the MMA fighters, sure, but actual people, like the people watching this video, who I love, you guys know he's not a realistic representation of MMA today, of modern MMA, you know? He's not. He's a wrestler and he's fighting in a boxing match. So yeah, sure. Jake can say that all he wants, but that's not factual and that's not true, and we all know that. He's just fabricating this imagination in his mind that he's a real fighter and this and that, all this bullshit that's happening. Meanwhile, in reality, it's so far from the truth because he's so egotistical that he can't see reality for what it actually is. Anyways, again.
You know, I don't have to do anything to get the attention of these guys. You know, they have to get the attention of me at this point. You know, they're talking about me more than I'm talking about them. So, you know, he's one of the first fighters on the list. Yeah, he's the first MMA fighter that will be taken down. I think this will make the Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor.
Are you fucking stupid? Oh my god. Sorry, I couldn't hold that one in. I couldn't hold that one in, guys.
Fight that will happen one day. More intriguing, of course. But, you know, there's Diaz after this. You know, there's tons of...
Nate Diaz would out-cardio him and box the fuck out of this guy like he was a pinata. A human pinata. He already looks like one, for fuck's sakes. Oh my god, this guy's annoying.
People calling me out. Celebrities still, athletes. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this fight will give me a lot of of credibility.
That's true.
Ben's 19-2, has less losses than McGregor, 2-time NCAA Division I champ, Olympic wrestler. So yeah, he's a real fighter, and that's what I wanted to do.
He is an actual fighter.
Is to show the world like, yo, this real fighter's getting in with Jake Paul, and he's gonna get KO'd in 2 rounds.
I mean, 2021 seems like a tremendous year to beat up the whole Paul family.
What a goat.
The fighter that I am now would knock out the fighter in the Nate Robinson fight. That was Jake Paul. So I'm completely different. And people will see I really haven't even gotten to show my boxing ability in my last 2 fights because they've both been like 4 minutes total.
Because they were, once again, an overweight YouTuber who was 5'3" and a retired 40-year-old basketball player who's probably 5'5". No fucking shit.
Or like 7 minutes total. So, you know, I'm actually excited to see if Ben's gonna give me a little bit of a test, a little bit of a challenge, because then people will see, oh shit, this kid can do that. Oh, he has this in his arsenal. Oh, he's been working on that. I haven't even shown the world what I can do. That's why this is fun, because I have the ace up my sleeve, and when you have the ace up your sleeve, and like,
Hey, I was wondering, your cheerleaders that you brought to a room, like, do you pay them as coaches or groupies, or do you just give them like sloppy seconds and social media shoutouts?
Yeah, I give them a ton of dry over the pants hand jobs. Maybe say you're joking.
Seems uncomfortable, but that's probably the one true thing he has said this entire video.
Again, and we can all remember to laugh. Say it one more time, we can just all laugh after.
Good one.
Just so you feel good about yourself. Say it one more time for us. No. Look at the cock on this guy.
Funny that he just said that, because Logan, with his face-to-face with KSI, actually said that to KSI. So that's unoriginal, and that just shows Jake Paul for who he is. An unoriginal, fake fighter, wannabe, ugly-ass motherfucker.
Look, we all have a lot to prove to the world, and I'm 24 years old. This is the biggest stage of my life. You know, the last event was the 8th biggest pay-per-view event in history. This one's going to be even bigger. Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg.
8th biggest event in UFC history, because it was fucking Mike Tyson or Roy Jones Jr. in the main event. Anyways.
Are you kidding me? And you think for one moment I'm going to sit there and fumble this? You think for one moment I'm not going to work my bloody balls off to beat this bum? This Walmart-looking head-ass Napoleon Dynamite motherfucker? No. You gotta be kidding me. So, yeah.
That was actually kind of funny.
I'm excited for this, and I have a chip on my shoulder, and I'm going to prove to the world April 17th. ThrillerFightClub.com. Buy it now. But I'm going to prove to the world that Jake Paul's the real deal.
Yeah, I'll definitely buy this pay-per-view, guys. 100%.
This is the road to McGregor at the end of the day.
It's hard to say. His opponents were so bad that he could have pretty much done anything he wanted to and won the fight. So, yeah, I think TBD.
Great question. Definitely a boxing lifer. I'm addicted to this sport, and I will become the biggest prize fighter in boxing. Simple as that.
YouTube boxing.
Thank you for the compliment. Have a ton of power. I didn't really even get to utilize it against Nate. He went down, and I only landed 8 punches, and he was knocked down 3 times. Hey, it's your dad calling me.
Stuff that's made it successful.
It's your dad.
Okay, guys. So, for a little context, what you don't know is Jake Paul actually, when he was in Miami, Florida, he trained with Jorge Masvidal. And this is why I'm not the biggest fan of Jorge Masvidal anymore, because this guy's talking all this shit about MMA and all the MMA fighters, and then, you know, he's just looking like a sellout to me. So you guys comment below if you agree or your opinions on this happening right now. Jorge Masvidal with Jake Paul, you know, even though him and Askren had their beef, it just looks, it makes Masvidal look like such a bum. He does not look like the guy we thought he was in 2019. He looks like a sellout a little bit to me, to be honest. Is he still alive?
There, he's still alive.
Like, poor connection, that's awkward.
Don't worry, I'm gonna finish him off. Yeah, don't worry.
I'm electing flip-flops, man.
He said he likes your flip-flops. Maker of Ben Askren. Jake Paul will be the finisher of Ben Askren. Does that bother you, by the way, that you got knocked out in 5 seconds?
It happens.
Doesn't bother you?
Not really.
It doesn't really happen, by the way. That's only happened once.
Can you imagine if Jake Paul got knocked out in 5 seconds? What the ego death he would experience? I think the earth would be a better place with a Jake Paul ego death. I think so.
Got a record.
You literally have a record. Yeah, you hold the record. The record. 5 seconds. Yeah, it doesn't like haunt you at all. That like that's not the most embarrassing fighter in UFC history.
Jake, I know you have low self-esteem, but you don't need to project it onto me.
Oh, burn! What a fucking one-liner by Ben Askren, the GOAT. Let's go.
So this clip doesn't bother you?
I've only seen it like a million times. It doesn't bother me.
Bother you?
No.
You sure?
Sure.
What did Frank give you?
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to knees in boxing, Jake.
Well, if gonna knock you out. Same thing.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said earlier, I knew of Jake and Logan when I took the fight, but I didn't know like a whole lot about Logan or his little brother. And you know, one of the things that I can't believe is in MMA, I was kind of the heel. I was kind of not liked that much. But you know, Jake said in the pre-fight thing that it was 50 people wanted to win, 50 people wanted to lose, and I was shocked because it's got to be like 9-10. Pretty amazing how many people don't like you. I actually kind of find it pretty impressive, your ability to be disliked.
Like, what is
That
this?
was a compliment.
At this point, major than the JJ fight, is there any interest in still fighting KSR, or have you outgrown him and you're just over that?
Yeah, definitely outgrown him. There's interest. I think that's a fight that everyone wants to see, but at this point, it just wouldn't even be close. And I think, you know, once he sees what I do to Ben, yeah, he's not gonna want to fight. And yeah, like even his coaches say it. They're like, hey, we're not letting KSI fight this kid right now. So his coaches know. His coaches know what will happen. KSI's ducking. And at the end of the day, it's like there's a lot bigger fights out there than JJ. So
Like, they have somehow convinced their fans that they're real fighters. It's tremendous.
This is straight facts. Listen to what he says.
You know, it takes an act, it takes a show. He's done that. He says, pulling the fire truck, eating rice and chicken and shit like that. I'm in this for life. That's tremendous. Appreciate
Rice
it.
and chicken and shit like that.
suck a dick.
Good one.
You know,
Okay, that got him.
Gary Vee once said, you know, you can build your skyscraper in New York as high as you want without tumbling over someone else's skyscraper. So why are people mad that I'm successful? You know, build up your own skyscraper, and there's room for everyone to eat in this sport, trust me.
I think it was a mass, not a tissue, but yeah, I would say, you know, like a 1 to 1.1, somewhere in there. You know, again, if Jake and I met in LA, I would just do a homicide if I wanted to, no big deal.
This is true. Ben Askren would actually murder Jake Paul in a street fight. He would double leg him on his fucking neck. If you guys weren't aware.
I was most impressed by the fact that Jake, as a 24-year-old, is able to convince a whole team of grown men to do a cheer with him. That was tremendous.
It's true.
It's called a team, a family, something that you don't have. Seems like you don't have really friends, and you know, we're all in this together. This means a lot to us. You know, this means a lot to everyone. This is a part of history. That everyone on my team is a part of history, and we're a brotherhood. And quite literally, a bunch of 20-year-olds taking over the world. You sound stupid.
Guys, if you're here, hit that subscribe button and like the video to support the channel, and make sure to click either one of these videos because the YouTube algorithm loves when you guys do that. I'll see you either way.